Hi there, hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson I will teach you loan repayments. Of course, there is a PDF file versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. First one, Sina borrowed $25,000 to buy a car at a rate of 6% per annum over 5 years. What is her monthly repayment over the loan? So first of all, we know that Sina borrowed $25,000 and the interest rate is 6% per annum. But then she has to pay every month, okay, monthly repayments. So therefore, the interest rate we need to divide by 12 because she paid every month. So therefore, the interest rate will charge monthly, okay? So 6% per year. Let me just write this down. R is 6% per year, but we divide to 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So 6 divided by 12 is 0.5. So 0.5% per month, okay? Remember that. So now we know that she had to pay over 5 years. So the number of payment will be, so 12 months in a year. So 1 year she paid 12 times, but over 5 years, so you times by 5. So therefore, she makes 60 repayments, okay? Keep that in mind for me. So now what we do, we just work out the balance of each month. That is at the end of each month, and we work out how much you owe, okay? For first month, so at the end of first month, so we know that at the end of first month, she owed $25,000 and plus the interest on top. So which is your compound interest, okay? This is how much she owed at the end of a month. So like first month, okay? So P 1 plus R power of N. So R is 0.5%. So P, let me just write 25,000. And then we times by 1 plus 0.5 over 100. And N is 1, okay? We just work out at the end of first month, okay? So let's say this is A1. And we're not going to evaluate. We just write it out first, okay? So it makes it easier. So now 25,000. And we times by, so 1 plus 0.005. That is 1.005. That is at the end of first month. That's how much she owed. Let me just write this down here. A1 equal $25,000 times 1.005. And then she make a regular payment of, let's say M is her regular payment because we don't know how much she have to pay every month. So we just pay M, okay? So M is a regular payment. So minus M. And at the end of A2, that means at the end of second month, so she owe A1, that's how much she owe at the end of first month. And then she need to pay interest on top of that. So that means times by 1.005. That is how much she owe at the end of second month. But then she make another payment, that is M. So minus M. So that is how much she owe at the end of second month. So this is A1, by the way. And A1 is this number here, okay? So which, let me just replace that. So A1 is 25,000 and times 1.005 minus M. And don't forget, we need to times this number here times by 1.005 and we minus M, because this M here, we need to write it down, minus M. So let me just clear this first. So now what I do, I just remove the bracket first. So this time together, that will give me 25,000 times 1.005 square. And then this time with M, so that will give me minus M times 1.005 and we minus M. And at the end of third month, she will owe this much. A3, so she will owe at the end of second month, she owe this much. And she need to pay on top of that with the interest. So we just time by 1.005. That is how much she owe at the end of third month. But then she made another regular payment. So M. So there you go. So now we know that A2 is this number here. So let me just write this down. So that will give me A2 is $25,000 times 1.005 square minus M times 1.005 minus M, and we times 1.005, and that is the number here. Okay, keep that in mind, and don't forget we need to write that M down. So that is how much you owe at the end of third month. So but then let me just expand the bracket first. So this means that this time together will give me 25,000 times 1.005 square, and we time by 1.005. So that give me 1.005 power 3. And this time together, so that will give me M times 1.005 times another 1.005. It give me 1.005 square, and this time together give me minus M times 1.005, and don't forget we need to write this M down. So now what I do, let me just take out the negative M out, okay, on this series here. Okay, so let me take out the negative M. So that will give me 25,000 times 1.005 cubed, and we take the negative M out. So take out the negative M. So that will give me brackets, and because I took the negative M out, so we leave with 1.005 square, and we take the negative M out. So give me plus 1.005. And if I take the negative M out, that means I divide by negative M. So leave with me 1 plus 1. So there you go. So what I do, let me just rewrite this series in ascending order. Okay. So that means 25,000 times 1.005 power 3 minus M. So I write ascending order. So that become 1. We add 1.005. We add 1.005 square. So there you go. And don't forget, this is A3. And this is how much Sina owe at the end of third month. Okay, keep that in mind. What we need to find is we need to find at the end of 60 months. Okay, 5 years, so 60 months. So A60 is equal to, so you can see here, A3, it give me 25,000 times 1.005 power 3. So therefore, if it's A60, it should be 25,000 times 1.005 power 60. So let me just write this down. It is a pattern, that's all. So it becomes this. 1.005 power 60 minus M, and then 1 plus 1.005 plus 1.005 square, we add, and this is A3, so 1 plus 1.005 and plus 1.005 power 2, so A60, so it should be all the way to 1.005 power of 59, okay, 1 less, so remember that. So we add 1.005 power 59. And this is a geometric series with 60 terms, because 1 is exactly the same as 1.005 power 0. So from 0 to 59, so it's 60 terms altogether, okay? So now I can add this up. S of n, I'm using this formula here, is I r power of n minus 1 over r minus 1. So what I do, A is 1, R is 1.005 power of 60, because I want to find the sum of the 60 terms. And then we minus 1 over 1.005 minus 1. So now I put down a calculator. So I just go fractions with the 1 I can ignore. So 1.005 power of 60. We minus 1, go down 1.005 minus 1. So there you go, 69.77. So let me write this down. 69.77. So that is A60 is equal to 25,000 times 1.005 power of 60 minus, so 69.77 M. So there you go. But then we know that after 60 months, Sina will pay off her loan. So that means A60 is equal to 0. So A60 is 0. So this implies that 25,000 times 1.005 power of 60 minus 69.77 M is equal to 0. So what I do now is I just move this on that side. So 25,000 times 1.005 power of 60 is 69.77 M. So what I do, I just divide it by 69.77 on both sides. So I go 25,000 times 1.005 power of 60, and then we divide it by the answer. There you go, $483.32. M is equal to $483.32. So therefore, so there you go. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi there, I'm back. How do you go? So let me go through it with you, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So first of all, we know that Tarun borrows $35,000 and the interest rate is 9% per annum, that is per year, over 4 years. But then he has to make monthly repayments. That means the interest is charged monthly, okay? So we just go R is 9% per year, we divide by 12. So 9 divided by 12 is 3/4, so that means 0.75% per month, okay? And then N is the number of repayments. So therefore 1 year he made 12 regular repayments. So 4 years, so 4 times 12. 4 times 12 is 48. So now we use A is P 1 plus R power of N. Okay, don't forget. So R is 0.05 over 100 plus 1. That should give me 1.0075. So this is like that. P is that time 1.0075. Part 1, okay, if we want to work out A1. So let me just write this down. So at the end of first month, Tarun will owe $35,000 plus the interest on top. So that means you time by 1.0075. That's how much he owe at the end of the first month. But then he make a regular contribution. Don't know how much it is. So we just write M. Okay, so minus M. So there you go. And then at the end of A2, that means at the end of second month and the first month, and we add interest on top. So 1.0075. That is how much he's owed. Okay, and then he pay a regular payment, that is M. So we minus M. But then don't forget A1 is this, so we just replace with that. So that will give me A1 is 35,000 times 1.0075 minus M, and we times 1.0075. So let me just clear this. So that will give me 1.0075 minus M. So now I just remove the brackets, okay? So now that is equal to this time together. So give me 35000 times 1.0075 square minus M times 1.0075, and we minus M. Then A3 at the end of third month, that is how much she owe. That is A2, that is how much she owe, and at the interest on top, so times by 1.0075. And she also make a regular payment, so we go minus M. So that is how much she owe at the end of third month. So at the end of third month, so but this is A2, A2 is here. So let me just replace with that. So that is equal to 35,000 times 1.0075 square, we minus M times 1.0075 minus M, and we times 1.0075, and we minus M, don't forget. So what I do now is just expand the brackets, so that will give me this time together, so that give me 35,000 times 1.0075 cube minus this time that give me M times 1.0075 square, and we times that minus M times 1.0075 minus M. So there you go. Let me just take our common factor for this series here, and the common factor is negative M. Let me just take it out. So that will give me 35,000 times 1.0075 cube minus M, and that will give me this become positive 1.0075 square, we minus become plus, and we divide by M, so that leave with 1.0075, and this M we divide by negative M, we become 1. So there you go. So let me just write this series here in ascending order. Okay, so let me just rewrite this. So that is A3 is equal to 35,000 times 1.0075 power 3 minus M, 1 plus 1.0075 plus 1.0075 square. That is A3. But we need to work out A48 because Karun made 48 payments. So 848. So because this is A3 is power 3, so A48 should be power 48. So 35123 times 1.0075 power 48 minus M. And we know that A3 we have 1 plus 1.0075 and plus 1.0075 squared. So A48 so should be all the way to 1.0075 power 47. Okay, one less. So let me just write it out. 1 plus 1.0075, we add 1.0075 square, we add, and we add 1.0075 power 47. And let me just add the series together. So S of 48. So let me just quickly sort this out. So A is 1, R is 1.0075 power 48 minus 1 over 1.0075 minus 1. So now what I do, I just put on a calculator. So I just go fractions and I ignore 1. So 1.0075 power of 48 and then we minus 1. And then we divide by 1.0075 minus 1. So there you go, 57.52. 57.52. So that is this time M. So let me write this down. So therefore A 48 is equal to 3500 times 1.0075 power 48 minus 57.52 M. And we know that A48 is 0 because after 48 payments, Tarun will pay off the loan. A48 is 0. So this means that 35,000 times 1.0075 power 48 minus 57.52 M is equal to 0. So what I do, I move this on that side. So 35,000 times 1.0075 power 48 is equal to 57.52 M. So what I do, I divide by both sides by 57.52. So I just put on a calculator. So I just go 35,000 times 1.0075 power 48. And then we divide by the answer. So there you go, $870.98. Correct to two decimal place, okay? So therefore, M is equal to 870, that's dollars, 0.98. So therefore, there you go. I hope you got it correct and thank you so much for watching. Bye.